Have you ever had that feeling that you're standing at a crossroads in your own life? You just know you're meant for something else, something more, but the path forward is just a total fog. Well, if that hits home, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into Brianna Wiest's guide, The Pivot Year, to figure out how to find a way through. The book kicks off with this question, and honestly, it's a bit of a gut punch, isn't it? Are you dancing around the perimeter of who you were meant to be? We're not just talking about being unhappy here. It's that deeper, chilling feeling of living a life feels like it belongs to someone else. This one question is really the starting pistol for a massive journey inward. So the book makes a pretty bold promise. This is the year you change your life. But it's quick to point out that we are not talking about superficial stuff. You know, moving to a new city or getting a dramatic haircut and then wondering why you still feel exactly the same. No. This is about deep internal rewiring, fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your place in the world. So where on earth does a change this big even begin? Well, it's not with some grand, complicated 5-year plan. It starts with a quiet and often really uncomfortable recognition. That moment you finally, truly admit to yourself, I feel stuck. And this idea right here, man, it just flips the whole script on what it means to be stuck. It's not a personal failure. It's not because you lack willpower. That feeling is actually a compass, screaming at you that you've been pouring all this energy into a path that was never even yours to begin with. Okay, so if we're on the wrong path, how do we find the right one? The book uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor to explain the two currents that are constantly pulling us in opposite directions. So on one side, you've got the world's river. Think of it as this loud, roaring current, just churning with the voices of everyone else. It's full of shoulds, expectations, and this very clear, well-trodden path to external goals. But then on the other side, there's your inner river. It's totally different. It's a single, quiet voice. It doesn't shout. That's your inner guide. And it's not leading you to a checklist of achievements, but to a place of deep inner knowing. And this captures the turning point perfectly. See, the pivot isn't about changing your job or your city. It's about changing which river you listen to. But here's the catch, right? What happens when following that quiet inner voice leads you straight into the unknown? This brings us to what is easily the most crucial, and let's be honest, the scariest part of this whole journey. It's that in-between space. You know, that period after you've let go of the old thing, but before the new path has really shown itself. It can feel terrifying, but as we're about to see, it's also where all the magic happens. Instead of calling it a scary void, Wiest calls this space something incredible, the golden vortex. She defines it as the realm of infinite potential entered when you finally admit that you do not know what is next. Think about that. The moment you say, I don't know, you're not lost. You've just stepped into a space of pure potential, where things you couldn't have even imagined before can finally start to show up. So how do you even navigate this vortex? You start by changing your relationship with what you've always called failure. A door that closes in your face isn't a rejection of you. It's a life redirecting you. It's like the universe saying, nope, not this way. I've got something way better for you over here. So the real mission here is to learn to trust the process. You've got to trust the missed connections, the rejections, all the detours. They aren't signs you're doing it wrong. They are the guideposts, clearing the path, getting you ready for what is actually meant for you. Okay, so we've answered the call. We've started to make peace with the unknown, but we can't just float around in the golden vortex forever, right? So how do we move from that space of pure potential to consciously, actively building a life that feels authentic from the inside out? Well, first things first, we have to completely shatter the myth that a dream life just magically appears one day. It doesn't. It's built. It is layered, piece by piece, through thousands of small, conscious choices you make day after day over and over again. Your reality becomes a construction project, not an accident. And here are the tools for that project. Number 1, you learn to listen for that quiet yes inside you. 2, you stop wasting energy trying to fix what's broken, and instead you amplify what's already working in your life. 3, you start making decisions based not just on logic, but on how they feel. And finally, you defy your past. You stop letting it define you, and you start consciously choosing who you are going to be today. So after going through all of this, we finally arrived at a completely new definition of the word pivot itself. And I'm willing to bet it's not what you think it is. This is the core insight of the entire book. A real pivot is not quitting your job to become a painter. That's just the result of the pivot. The pivot itself is the internal journey you take first. It's the massive shift that happens on the inside long before anything changes on the outside. Which brings us to the real end goal here. It was never about finding a new path. It's about realizing you don't need a pre-made path at all. You're not looking for a new map to follow. You are building your own internal compass, learning to trust it, and learning to navigate your life entirely on your own terms. And to wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one provocative question from the book. We so often get trapped in a choice between A or B, stay or go, this job or that one. But what if there's a third door, an invisible door of possibility that you've missed because you've been so focused on the two right in front of you? The whole point of the pivot year is learning how to see it.